Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. Warrior fan. Welcome to the pasture near Eskridge, Kansas, where tonight the Marion Warriors will take on the Mission Valley Vikings. This is a consolidated school. It's actually a very nice facility, nice field here. We're in the comfy confines of the press box. This is Mike Powers here with Jeremiah Lang and Casey Case to bring you the call of the big final season district game between the Marion Warriors and the Vikings. And guys, we'll get right into the Central National Bank pregame show here. We always start with you, Casey. Your thoughts?
Well, I think they'd like you to refer to it as the prairie, not the pasture.
That's probably a pretty good point. The beautiful Flint Hills.
Beautiful Flint Hills prairie we're in, and it was a pretty drive up here tonight. Mike, if I'm correct, both teams are 3-0 in district play, and winner tonight will win the league or the district. They're wondering if they can hear me or not. That's why I've sort of stopped talking. But thing I noticed right off looking on the scouting report is that Mission Valley starts on offense 4 sophomores and a freshman to go with only 3 seniors. On defense, they start the same freshman and 3 sophomores. So obviously a pretty young team. I don't think they have a lot of depth. I'd really be surprised if the Marion Warriors have a very hard time tonight.
There's 35 on their pregame roster, which is actually one of the higher numbers of the teams we've played this year. But that doesn't necessarily mean they have depth. It just means they got quite a few kids on the roster. Jeremiah, your pregame thoughts, Central National Bank pregame show.
Well, Mike, we've been looking at this game coming up for a while. We've played some of the same teams, and it's always dangerous to start comparing yourself on paper against teams you've played and against the teams that they've played. But we seem to have handled teams pretty well that they've struggled against to beat. So I think we're looking for a big Warrior win tonight. If we can shut down their offense, make sure they don't get any long passes, and do well on setting blocks on our offense and opening up the field.
I noticed that number 4, Tanner Allen, is their quarterback. In the scouting report, coach indicates he's a dynamic player. Although they feel like he runs with the ball held a little bit loosely, a guy who a good hard tackle could force into a fumble. But Jeremiah, you noted that in the pregame, I don't even see 4 on the field. 3's been taking an awful lot of snaps out there.
Just see 4 now out there taking snaps.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Their numerals are a little different. I didn't recognize that as a 4, actually.
I've been watching him warm up. He looks like a pretty good athlete. I also noticed looks like they run the ball 84% of the time.
Yeah.
So I don't think we'll see a lot of passing from them, which should let our defense concentrate on the run, and I think we'll be hard to run against.
As a matter of fact, Casey, if I'm reading this scouting report correctly, when they did pass the ball, it wasn't the quarterback. Is this just who caught it, or?
I think that's who caught it.
That's who caught it. Okay. But as Casey said, I noted the same thing. Only 16% of the time did they pass out of 107 plays that were noted here. Only 17 of them were pass plays. Well, Jeremiah, as we go on the road in these district games, we will be, as you referenced, playing teams that we haven't seen before and really don't even have a lot of common opponents with. I know you did a little checking. If you can, I put you on the spot. Top of your head, do you have any of those common opponents?
I know we've played Harrington and Northern Heights and Chase County that they've played also. And looking at their record, they were able to beat Harrington by 33. But then against Northern Heights, they won that game by 2 points, and they beat Chase County by 1. Teams that we really dominated in our performance.
Absolutely. Well, as we kind of get to the end of the pregame show here, sponsored by Central National Bank, I told the guys I was going to ask for their on-the-spot predictions. We're not going to give time for discussion. I want to hear everyone's prediction of the final score of this game, and then we'll come back and throw in any comments we want to go with. So, who you want me to go first? You guys want to go first? We'll go with Jeremiah. Your call.
52-13 Warrior win.
Casey.
56-7 Warriors.
That makes me. Mine was 30-7. So obviously I'm not near as confident.
The only reason I'm giving them 7 is because I watched their kicker warm up for about an hour, and then he's adequate. He can make an extra point.
thank you guys, and that's our pregame show sponsored by Central National Bank. We'll be back with the first quarter.
Hannaford Abstract and Title Company provides abstracts of title and title insurance for homeowners and mortgage lenders. They also provide real estate closings for your transactions. Why do you need title insurance? For most Americans, our home is the single largest financial investment we will ever make. Having a clear title is important to the sale and purchase of your home. Your title insurance policy is your assurance that the home you are buying is protected from any title problems now and down the road. Tampa State Bank is one of the few banks in Marion County still locally owned. We offer the full range of banking services: checking, savings, time deposits, consumer, commercial, and real estate loans, escrow services, credit and debit cards, internet banking, new touchscreen drive-up ATM, night depository, and safe deposit boxes. Our friendly, courteous officers and staff will continue to provide the excellent service to our customers in 2012 that they have been used to since 1901. Jerry Cady Agency is a full-line insurance agency specializing in crop and hail insurance. They also carry farm, home, auto, life, and annuities. Their goal is to continue to offer quality insurance products while maintaining our commitment to always providing the best service possible to each and every customer.
Welcome to Marion County Ace Hardware, located at 1228 Commercial in Marion. We have all your supplies for painting, lawns, pets, fishing supplies, and keys. We also have stock lawnmowers and parts with a large selection of Craftsman tools, and also don't forget the candy. We are open 7 days a week for your shopping convenience, even if you only need a nut or a bolt.
Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. Warrior fan. Once again, this is Mike Powers here with Jeremiah Lang as we get ready to start tonight's final regular season game on the road against the Mission Valley Vikings. We have had some technical difficulties. We have real problems with our sound. We are reduced to using one handheld microphone that Jeremiah and I are going to hand back and forth. Our quarterly reports will become a halftime report as Casey Case will come up for St. Luke Hospital and give us that report. But we are ready for the kick out. And quick final thoughts, Jeremiah.
Mike, I'm really looking forward to see what the Marion Warriors can bring on the field tonight as we get ready to go into postseason play. This is going to be the game, I think, that's going to set us on the right direction here.
This is going to be awkward. I told Jeremiah we at least had two microphones in 94 when we started this. He said this is a throwback game, so bear with us, folks. We will have some sound. Peyton Heidebrecht with the opening kick. Line drive, tumbling kick, taken at the 14-yard line. Warriors pursue, but the man does a nice job to avoid the tackle. Stone is out there. Stone with some help from Dylan Pippin pulls him down. A good start for the Vikings.
It was a good kick by Peyton, and just the player for the Vikings reverse field real well. Unfortunately, we had a couple guys there that were ready to catch him on the side and bring him down.
So the Vikings will take over on their 38. It's not fantastic field position, but darn good field position. The Warriors start on offense. Warriors obviously want to make a statement here, want to stop them 3 and out, get the ball, and use the Warrior passing attack. The reverse play, going to get some good yardage. May have a first down for the Vikings on the first play of the ball game. Now, last week we noticed the Warriors came out just a little complacent.
Yeah, that was a quick play up the middle. Warriors were not ready for it. I think we got a good stop. It looks like about gain of 9.
I mentioned the Warriors being maybe a little complacent last week and that they didn't seem to be as fired up as they needed to be. Once they realized that they were in a football game, they routed Harrington. It'll be second and short here now for the Vikings. From the shotgun with a man in motion. Quarterback keeps. Good pursuit by the Warriors. That was number 33, and Tyler Neufeld with the initial contact.
Tyler Neufeld met him right in the backfield and brought him down. The quarterback, number 4, for the Vikings, had nowhere to go. Great pursuit by Tyler Neufeld.
Roger and I are handing this microphone back and forth. whatever your name is. Jeremiah and I were walking back and forth across the room to do it. He's got a window. I have a window. They're not very wide, so this is awkward, but we know you don't care. All you care about is this good high school football game. 3rd and 4 now for the Vikings. Hand off to the tailback. Oh, he is stuffed. Loss on the play. With the forward progress, it'll be a short loss. It will be 4th down.
After a big gain on first down, Warriors make 2 big plays on defense and actually push them backwards. It's going to be 4th and about 5, and we'll probably see a punt here from the Vikings.
It'll be 4th and 4. They said no gain on the play. There was a short loss, but basically 4th and 4. The Vikings are not going to tempt fate here. Ball on their own 44. They'll be punting. Oh, that was partially blocked. It was fully blocked. Warriors scoop it up. Oh, tackled on the 15-yard line.
Jacob Baldwin was right there to pick up the ball and start running it. He was tackled. Pretty exciting play for the Warriors. A great block. Great way to start off this game.
Jim, I heard the block. I didn't see the block. That's why I said partially. I thought the ball was going downfield.
No, I saw that block, and the ball just came running backwards, and they were right there ready to scoop it up.
Baldwin with a really nice job of scooping it up and cleanly and advancing the ball down. Spotted on the 16-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Warriors. Baldwin to take the snap. Hand off to Jansen. Jansen powers forward for a couple.
It's a good start for the Warriors. Pick up a couple yards, establish the middle of the field, and we're going to probably see them start hitting the wings here and opening up the field on the next couple plays.
2nd and 8. Warriors with a fullback and a tailback. Wheeler split out wide right. Baldwin keeps around that right side. Baldwin's got a little running room. He takes it inside the 10. He's down inside the 5.
Couple Vikings there to knock him down. We're inside the 5, maybe at the 3-yard line, looking ready to score.
Once again, just like it was at Mission Valley, I actually have a better view of the play looking at Jay Smith's camera work here on the monitor than I do looking at it live. All right, the Warriors 1st and goal now from the 3-yard line, as Jeremiah said. Baldwin surveys the field. Takes a snap, hands off to Jansen. He pushes. He's in the zone with a Case and Son touchdown.
Jansen just leaned into the pile and kept those legs turning, and the pile moved forward, and he just laid right down in the end zone. Great play by the Warriors.
One of the things that Jeremiah and I and Roger and I and Casey and I have worked on is not talking over each other when we've all got microphones on. That's going to be really easy to accomplish tonight since there's only one microphone and we're handing it back and forth. All right, Baldwin once again going for the 2-point conversion. Hand off to Jansen, power straight forward. He's going to be short. So our score at the 8:58 mark first quarter is Warriors 6 and the Vikings 0.
Jansen was stopped right up the middle, nowhere to go on that extra point play. But we're excited to see what we've seen so far from the Warriors with a block punt, march right down the rest of the field and put it in the end zone. We're going to get another shot with our defense here to demonstrate how strong they are. This is going to be, I think, a fun Warrior game tonight.
I want to recognize our first quarter sponsors, Eagle Communications, Prairie Land Partners, and Marion National Bank. Oh, Warriors will come out and kick off again for the second time tonight. Jeremiah, not only do we have a handheld microphone, it's got a long cord that we've got all over the floor, and Jeremiah just got his foot caught in it. Oh, Jay, can you get a shot of the? Can you get a shot of the 10-man down there in the stands? The 10-man right down there. The 10-man. All right, here's the kickoff. There's the 10-man, but now we'll go back to the kickoff. Handled on about the 15-yard line. Oh, good pursuit by the Warriors. That was number 30 down there applying the first pressure, Aaron Riggs. And great coverage by the Warriors. We were trying to show you the, and Jay's got it now, the Wizard of Oz Tin Man in the stands there.
You know, Mike, we just bought an old house in Marion, and we're remodeling that house. All I see is parts that I need for that remodel, so.
You think you could take that and fix a bathroom?
I could put some of that to work.
All right, once again, Mission Valley with their second possession of the ball game, trailing by a score. They're big interior lineman 75, who, when I say big, that's Robert Phillips. He's 6'1". He's a freshman, 325 pounds.
Yeah, he just got leaning forward and wasn't going to be able to stop that momentum, and 1 foot after the other got the false start.
All right, 1st and 15 now for the Vikings. Oh, high snap over the quarterback's head. The Warriors following that. That's a touchdown. That's the touchdown. He's in the zone. Tyler Neufeld, the senior, comes through.
Yeah, it was just a missed snap and a great opportunity taken by the Marion Warriors to score a touchdown, which is going to put us up by 2 scores here. You're going to see the kicker, or the quarterback, I guess, push a player away, but Tyler falls on the ball.
Dylan Pippin had the first shot of that at that moment of glory in the end zone, and Tyler Neufeld was the one who came away with it. Mr. Hustle down there did a great job. Warriors now up 12-0, once again going for a 2-point conversion. And, whoop, that was Jansen. He's in the zone, but we do have a flag. Did you have any inkling of what that might be?
I think we're going to see a holding call.
Okay. Well, I don't want to get premature here. It is a hold against the Warriors, so this will be a very long extra point attempt, 2-point conversion attempt. So far, we had talked about the disparity or differences perhaps in the level of competition from who the Warriors had played and who the Vikings had played. And, of course, we're, like I say, not even halfway through the first quarter. But right now, I think we're looking pretty smart, Jeremiah.
Yeah, we're definitely looking like the dominant team. We're going to have to see if we can put a couple of these extra points in just to complete these touchdowns. We're going to need to make sure we have these down as we go into postseason play.
Okay, the Warriors are pushed back outside the 10-yard line here. I was going to say, it wouldn't be a surprise to see a pass play. Nicely executed. That's Brad Stone. He's in the zone with a 2-point conversion.
Great opportunity for Jacob Baldwin and Brad Stone to demonstrate what they can do in the passing game and get us up 14-0 on that play. It looks like the Warriors are having fun out there. I think you can just see by how they're keeping their heads up, and you just know they're smiling as they're out there playing this game tonight.
Yeah, I think yours truly, the announcer, needs to take back. I made some reference to perhaps the team coming out not quite ready to play. I think they're pretty ready to play, Jeremiah.
They've definitely come out strong, and the defense is just fired up and is transferring over to what the offense is doing, and a really exciting night for the Warriors to wrap up the regular season tonight up here in Mission Valley.
I'd be a broken record. There's a lot of football yet to be played, but would love to see the Warriors come away with a big victory, no injuries, play a lot of the underclassmen, and get ready for the first round of district playoffs. There's the kick. Squib kick again. Bounces down to the 25, and did it go out of bounds? I think it did, yeah. So that'll end up in good placement for the Vikings, unless they touched it.
I think it was touched by one of the Viking players, so it's not going to be a penalty. It'll be out where it went out of bounds.
Excellent. I didn't notice the touching, so that instead of them getting the ball up here past the 30, they'll be pinned down inside their own 20-yard line. This will be the third possession for the Vikings as they are still trying to get on track. Split out 2 receivers on the left side of the formation, 2 on the right. Empty backfield for the quarterback from the shotgun. Got a slot back, on the left side. Now puts a man in motion. Quarterback wants to throw. He's going long right down the middle. Brad Stone's on it. Brad Stone's got the interception. Stone turns it back upfield. Boy, he is streaking down that sideline. Stone still inbounds. Wow, what a great start for the Warriors.
Brad Stone just had his eye on that ball as it was coming across the field and made a great catch on that play. What we said in the pregame is that they run the ball 85% of the time. The fact that they're going to throw it this early in the game demonstrates that they really don't know what to do with this Warrior defense.
That's a really good point, Jeremiah. Now, I'm not saying they're panicking. I'm saying, and I think you are too, they're just trying to figure something out that'll work, because in the first two possessions, they got other than the first play of the game, they got nothing on the ground. Warriors back in action. Jansen with the carry. Jansen breaks a couple of tackles, finally taken down as he gets inside the 20-yard line.
Yeah, Jansen almost broke that free. One of the players for the Vikings got him by the shoelaces and wouldn't let go, and another one knocked him down from the top.
Second and a short 5 now for the Warriors. Bryce Schultz split out on the right, Wheeler on the left. Hand off to Jansen. Jansen getting those tough yards over the left side of the Warrior offensive line.
Yeah, Jansen does a good job holding on to the ball, making sure it doesn't go anywhere, earning some tough yards, as you mentioned, Mike, and going to bring up third and about 2. Really good night out here for football. A lot of Warrior fans showed up for this game. It's good to see them on the opposite side of the field.
Ball just outside the 15, maybe this at the 16-yard line. Third down. Baldwin keeps. Baldwin cuts back upfield. Baldwin's got the first down. Jake Baldwin with a good hard run gets the ball deep in Viking territory.
Yeah, you're going to see on the replay here as Baldwin just cuts through the Viking defense and keeps going. He's really close to the end zone on that play. He's got to be right around the, what do you think, the 2-yard line maybe? Yeah.
The field announcer just called it the 1-yard line, so we'll take that. First and goal there for the Warriors. Wouldn't be surprised to see Baldwin just keep it. Always Jansen's a good option, of course. Baldwin does keep it. He's in the zone. Do we have, is that a flag on the field? Looking like a false start penalty. Yes, it is. So the Warriors will get pushed back 5. You wipe that touchdown off the board. Warriors leading 14-0 at the 6:55 mark first quarter and already looking to go in for a third touchdown.
It was too bad that got called back. Jake was in the end zone untouched on that play. There was nobody near him. We'll see what the Warriors bring out this time.
Yeah, Baldwin has really, since Snyder went down with the injury, Baldwin has made this team his own. He's playing smart, he's playing relaxed, and he's playing well. A time that was well defended. They figured that one out, took Baldwin down. Oh, we've got another penalty. I'm not sure whether they'll accept it, Jeremiah. I think maybe I would decline this one.
Yeah, we'll have to see what they call here. And something that the coach doesn't want to see ever, even up 14-0, is he doesn't want to see these kinds of mistakes being made. The referee's coming over to get a word from the coach is what they want to do. Or maybe, false start on the offense. Let's bring up first down again.
Well, one thing you don't want to have is those kind of penalties. Those are just concentration and focus penalties, and I'm sure that's will likely be a point of emphasis in the practices next week. Waiting to see whether they accept it or decline it. I haven't seen a call yet, Jeremiah. Obviously, the decision would be they stopped us for a short loss, so they could make it 2nd and 7 or so, or they could push us back and give us first down all over again. It looks like that's what they're doing. They're going to push it back to the 11, and it'll be first down. All right, so the Warriors really not in bad position. First down, 11 yards to go to get in the end zone. And off to Jansen. Jansen powers through, pops out the other side of that pack.
Jansen was right down the middle, pulled the players with him. You know, one of these things I think we're kind of feeling up here, it's pretty exciting to see the Warriors having the success that they're having down on the field. That's probably contributing to some of those false starts. Is just a lot of excitement on the players' part, wanting to get going and get it back in the end zone.
That's a good point, Jeremiah. You get everything's going right. You're all amped up, and be kind of easy just to have a twitch or a jerk there and get that penalty. All right, the Warriors now from the 2, 2nd and goal. Baldwin solemnly surveys the field, keeps the ball, waiting for the signal. He's in the zone with a Case and Son touchdown.
Jake ran to the right and was able to get into the end zone, leaning in on a couple of the Viking players, and they could not hold him back. And it's going to bring up the 3rd touchdown in this quarter with 5:55 remaining in the quarter. Here's the replay.
You can see Baldwin just fakes to Jansen, slides right down the line in the end zone, fairly easily pay. 20-0, 2-point conversion attempt, handoff to Jansen. He's in the zone with a 2-point conversion, and we've got a 22-0 ball game, 5:55 to go in the first quarter. Jeremiah, one of the things they got going on here tonight, they've got the little cheerleaders, which most every team does, but they have theirs all dressed up in Halloween costumes, and many of the cheerleaders, I think they had a race today. It was the zombie apocalypse something?
Yeah, Casey and I were here while you and Gene were setting up. We noticed off in the pasture north of the field people running, and we were told by one of the students here that there was a zombie apocalypse race out in the fields out there, which is kind of fun to see them all coming back in their garb from chasing down runners.
Now, if I was going to go to a zombie apocalypse race, my question would be, am I running from the zombies? Am I running with the zombies?
I think they were running from the zombies. Yeah, I think the idea was that the zombies were trying to eat them.
Okay, but how do you decide who's a zombie and who's not? We'll let you worry about that later. Here's the 4th kickoff for Peyton Heidebrecht, whose leg has gotten a real workout the last 2 weeks. Good kick, end over end, right down the middle of the field. Taken at the 8-yard line. Man brings it straight up the middle. It's got a running lane. Drugged down as the ball came across the 30, and it popped loose. I think Mission Valley recovered.
The player carrying the ball was their quarterback, and that was number 4, Tanner Allen. One of the things in the sky report from the coach was that if he gets hit hard, the ball will come out, and sure enough, took a hit on that play, and the ball came out. Vikings recovered, but Warriors were ready to pounce on it.
We don't know whether our Central National Bank pregame show will be audible. We did, in our pregame show, talked about that very fact, that the Warriors thought the quarterback a little loose with the ball, might be able to knock a fumble loose. Clearly that was correct. All right, first down now. Hand off to the tailback. Oh, my. Had a little bit of running room and then just got nailed by 8 Warriors.
Yeah, Jansen was one of them waiting there at the line of scrimmage, and it looked like he ran into a brick wall with nowhere to go.
Ended up being a gain of 1 for the Vikings. Kind of looks like a Marion Hillsborough game here. Either that or maybe Marion against the University of Southern California. Or maybe Arizona, Minnesota. Oh, yeah, Minnesota. Looks a lot like Minnesota. You're right. There's a pitch. Got a blocker, but just no way they could handle the pursuit of the Warriors. 52 out there for the Warriors was Nathan Sear, and you'll see other Warriors on the screen.
Yeah, he looked like he was going to have some running room, but the Warriors are just fast in pursuit, and the Vikings are kind of trying to, like we said earlier, trying to figure out what to do with this Warrior defense. There doesn't seem to be an answer for them.
Jeremiah, you have to get ready because when the quarter ends in 4 minutes, we don't have Casey to step in, so I'll be looking to you handing you the mic for the for the quarterly report. Good running play. Pops outside. It's going to be short of the first down. It'll bring up fourth down, but they get the ball out just short of the 40. That was number 2, the ball carrier, Cole Hodge.
I think down 22-0 in the first quarter, you have to go for it, but it looks like they're going to punt.
Yeah, I don't know. Tough call. You're on your own 39. If you go for it and don't get it, 38 really. If you don't get it, you're just handing the other team a probable score. Maybe it's time to let your punter practice. Number 1, if I'm reading that right, the punter. I'm not seeing one on the. Oh, it's 11. There we go. Oh, nice punt. Gets away a nice punt. Pushes Snelling back. Snelling takes it inside the 30. Turns back upfield. Zigs and zags. Gets the ball across the 45. We've got a flag down. A lot of flags so far in this game.
Yeah, Seth Snelling had a good return. It was almost an example where your punter out-kicked his coverage. Seth had a lot of room to run there, and that's not necessarily something that coaches like to see you on the punting team.
Number 11, the punter was Willis Butler. Butler is a senior, 5'10", 161 pounds, got off a good kick. Call the penalty, blocking the back against the Warriors, so they'll mark that off. The Warriors will take over on own 34, so nothing wrong with that field position, but of course not the great position across the 50 we had before. Jeremiah makes a good point. This is the first time tonight the Warriors have actually started a drive inside. Matter of fact, the first we've played it down inside Warrior territory. Oop. That was a busted play. Baldwin, you'll see on the replay, Baldwin turned to hand the ball off on his right, and there was nobody there to take it.
Yeah, there's kind of a look like what is going on. You'll see here he's going to turn to the right, and no one there except for a bunch of Vikings.
Loss of couple of yards on that play. It'll be 2nd and 12 for the Warriors. Splitting out on the left side of the formation for the Warriors is Mason Peterson. Down low on the inside is Corbin Wheeler. Hand off to Jansen. Oh, well defended. Something you very rarely see. As Jansen went into the line, he was grabbed and pulled backwards.
Vikings are ready now for Jansen to come up the middle. Don't be surprised if we see a play sent out to one of the sides here by the Warriors, either a pass or a sweep.
One of the things the scouting report indicated, Jeremiah, is that the coaching staff thought that they would really bite on play action passing, really freeze them and get our receivers behind them. I tell you what, Mason Peterson and the rest of that Warrior receiving crew has done a nice job this year. You get the ball to them, they will catch it. Baldwin wants to pass. That's pulled in by Stone, right down the middle of the field. Nobody's going to catch him. Peterson has a blocker. He's in the zone with another Case and Son touchdown.
When there's that much room on a play, I always look back to make sure there's not a flag on the play because he was gone with no one around him. What a great play. And I was wrong. It wasn't to the side at all, right up the middle, and Stone was gone.
One of the things that I've been really impressed with, Jeremiah, is the way that our passing game this year, nobody looks like they're just stretching and praying they'll catch a ball. I mean, it's just natural and casual and pull it in. The timing's been impeccable. All right, Baldwin for the 2-point conversion, up 28-0. Baldwin keeps. He's in the zone with a 2-point conversion.
I'm running out of ways to compliment these Warriors. This is just amazing demonstration of offensive defense. Warriors definitely the team that we were hoping to see as the season went on, and they've demonstrated that time and time again. And they're not showing any signs of letting up here. Warriors are playing really strong and showing just what they're good at and playing well as a team.
And that is something that is the Warriors certainly desire to go deep in the playoffs. If they're going to do that, it's going to take that kind of play, the well-coordinated team play. Certainly, we're up against a team right now that, unless lightning strikes, is just not capable physically of staying with the Warriors. We're going to talk a little bit about next week's game after a while, but I'm of the opinion that in the first round of the playoffs, which will begin next week and we will be in, I expect us to dominate that game as well.
Yeah, these are two 3-0 teams playing each other in district play and demonstrating that we are the far superior team. And yeah, we're playing a team at home next week at our stadium. I think we're going to have a big success. Mike let you know the last time that was the fourth kickoff. This is the fifth kickoff for Peyton Heidelberg this quarter.
That's right, this quarter. That one did go out of bounds, by the way. While Jeremiah was talking, he probably wondered why I was getting on my phone. I was getting ready to send a text here in just a couple of minutes to people back home in Marion, just pointing out the score at the end of the first quarter is, at the very least, it's going to be Marion 30-0, and barring some sort of a turnover and a return for the Vikings. Once again, we'll explain that we've had some real problems with our audio equipment since we got here, and ended up having to abandon our headphones and our mics, and we have a single handheld mic and a long cord that Gene Winkler always finds a way to make it work, but it is causing us to be a little bit awkward. Quarterback rolls, thought he wanted to pass. Now he's going to keep it. Stone did a nice job turning that play back inside, but give the quarterback credit. He made something out of nothing and got a nice gain on the play.
Yeah, quarterback for Mission Valley, number 4, Tanner Allen, picked up about 6 yards on that play and scrambled for it. Warriors did a good job of defending. He just had some room to run, so we're going to see if they can't push him backwards on this play.
2nd and 2 now for the Vikings. Minute and a half left to go in this first quarter. The Warriors came out smelling blood tonight, and nothing has changed. Inside handoff is going to be a first down for the Vikings. Nice run. And the ball popped out. I think the Warriors have that ball if it's a fumble. And I think they're calling it, yes, they're calling it down. No, well, wait a minute. We've still got people gesturing, but I looked out there, and Kyle Pallett called it a Warrior recovery, but I think the officials disagree.
Yeah, the officials seem to overrule the Pallett call, so we're going to go with the officials.
Well, what are they thinking, overruling Kyle Pallett? So it is a first down. The ball on the 49-yard line of the Vikings. Tailback with the handoff. Nice carry. Gets the ball out across the 45, inside the 45. So another nice gain. That'll set up a 2nd and 5.
Yeah, Vikings finding some room to run now, and the Warriors needing to shut those holes down. We're going to see if we can't have a defensive stand here on 2nd and 5.
30 seconds to play in the quarter. 2nd and a short 5 for the Vikings. Pitch going around the right side. Oh, hit right at the 45-yard line and driven back. Forward progress will actually still result in a short loss on that play.
Warrior defense stood strong on that one. Just going to give them some forward motion, and to still lose 1 yard on the play. That's going to bring the end of the first quarter.
So at the end of the first quarter, our score, Warriors 30, Vikings 0. This will be the St. Luke Hospital quarterly report. But first, let's have a word from our sponsors.
Heary Real Estate is a full-service real estate agency specializing in residential real estate in the Marion County area. Heary Real Estate lists and sells the majority of real estate in the immediate Marion area. In fact, they sell the majority of Marion real estate listed by other companies as well. They also serve the surrounding communities in the county, including Marion County Lake, Hillsborough, Peabody, Lincolnville, and Florence. Case & Son Insurance is the oldest continuous business in Marion County and may be the oldest continuous family-run business in the state. The current owner is the 5th generation of the Case family to run the business, and there's never been any ownership outside the Case family. They are an independent agent representing many companies and offer a full line of property casualty insurance, including home, auto, farm, business, and life. They also specialize in bonds.
All right, welcome back. This is the quarterly St. Luke quarterly report. What you've seen in the first quarter is a Warrior dominant game, 30-0. Probably more than we expected already. You heard a couple predictions between Casey and myself in the 50s. We're at 30 points at the end of the first quarter. Here come the Vikings again on offense. Going to be third down and about 5 yards.
Okay, the Vikings with their best opportunity of the evening so far on the Warrior 46, 3rd and 5. Quarterback keeps getting a lot of pressure deep in the backfield. Snelling took him down. Big loss back to the Viking side of the 50-yard line.
Snelling tripped him up on that play. He didn't have anywhere to go, and we're just having fun watching the Warriors play at the level that they're playing at. We're going to see probably a punt here. Looks like Snelling's going to go back for the return.
Our first quarter sponsors, we mentioned Eagle Communications, Prairieland Partners, Marion National Bank. Our second quarter sponsors are Marion Pharmacy, Triple R Hauling, Shelter Insurance, and the Lumberyard in Hillsboro, Kansas. We appreciate the sponsorship of the Lumberyard, Shelter Insurance, Triple R Hauling, and Marion Health Mart Pharmacy. 4th down. The Vikings set up the punt. Ball hops back to the punter. He gets it away cleanly. Fair catch called for by Snelling, and it'll be Warriors ball on the 23-yard line.
Good, strong punt by the punter from Mission Valley. Seth had a good idea there to just fair catch and let the offense come out and do work.
The punter is number 11, Willis Butler. Give him some credit. That snap bounced. He fielded it like a shortstop, took it on the short hop, and got away a really good, strong punt. And, of course, no return. So the Warriors now, from the 23, back on offense. Rolling this direction. Baldwin keeps, cuts back upfield. Baldwin with the stiff arm gets the ball across the 35. That should be a first down.
Jake Baldwin did a great job tucking the ball in and just going up the field on the run there. We want to let you know Casey Case is here. He's over there. You can see him on the blue hoodie on the other side of the field looking warm and toasty. And he will give you the halftime report when that time comes.
Casey Case, since we don't have our normal sound set up, we couldn't use Casey, but he'll be over here for a halftime report. Casey, who we lovingly refer to as the creepy Rob Lowe. Ball on the field, picked up by Baldwin. Again with the stiff arm, and Baldwin won't go down, finally forced out of bounds. Short game, but a strong run.
Yeah, Baldwin made something out of nothing on that play. He threw at least 2 players down before he got pushed out.
Baldwin just has that right hand, just catching them under the chin and pushing them to the ground there. Only a yard gain, but it was an interesting and entertaining yard. Warriors have Bryce Schultz lined up, split out on the near side. 2 slot backs. Handoff to Snelling going around the right side. Snelling is tripped up in the backfield. It'll be a short loss on the play. It'll be 3rd down now for the Warriors. And Mission Valley, I don't know, Jeremiah, it almost seems like they were perhaps a little shell-shocked because they were just reeling, and the defense appears to be stiffening here.
Yeah, the defense appears to have settled down and been able to coaches probably be able to talk to them about some things that they were seeing and get them focused on the plays before them.
3rd and 11 for the Warriors. Warriors have had a lot of success in the air. This is an obvious passing down. See if that helps Mission Valley. Baldwin's not going to pass. He's going to keep. He's got the first down. Baldwin with a good, strong, slashing run out to the 49-yard line.
Baldwin again with the strong right arm. He's left-handed individual, and he puts that right arm out to make sure that he has extra room to run. As he picks up the first down, move the chains, and the Warriors are going to keep marching down the field.
Baldwin uses that offhand like a boxer using a jab. He won't let you get in close enough to get in the clinch. All right, from their own 49, the Warriors now first down. Early part of the second quarter. Jansen with a carry. Jansen with good, strong run. Jansen's got another first down as he gets it to the 36-yard line, and Jansen, Baldwin just slashing up this Mission Valley defense.
Yeah, just as it seems like each time I say something, the Warriors prove me wrong. So I said Mission Valley had a handle on what the Warriors were bringing on offense, and here they've proven that with 2 plays. They've proven that wrong, 2 first downs consecutively.
Welcome to my world, Jeremiah. For 20 years I've been saying things only to almost immediately being pointed out or obvious that I was wrong. First and 10 from the 36. Baldwin to throw over the middle of the field. No, down the right sideline goes to Mason Peterson. He's in the zone. He had Stone open in the middle of the field. I thought that's where he was going, but instead he put it on the right sideline and hit Peterson for the score. We do have Seth Snelling out there limping.
That's definitely not something that we want to see. So hopefully he can walk that off. And as I tell my son, rub some dirt on it and keep moving. You see Mason swivel his head on that play. He was literally looking around because he could not believe how wide open he was.
Surely there's got to be someone near me here. Warriors up 36-0. Lining up for another 2-point conversion attempt. Headed to the north end of the field. Baldwin keeps the ball. He's in the zone with a 2-point conversion. Very little has not worked. Everything seems to be working tonight, Jeremiah.
Yeah, and Mike, you hear the phrase 1 step forward and 2 steps back. What the Warriors are experiencing here is about 5 steps forward, 1 step back, and about 10 steps forward after that. I mean, there's just very little that's holding them back from being in the end zone throughout the night. Great plays by the Warriors out here on offense. The passing game's working, the running game's working, and the defense is standing stiff when they need to each time Mission Valley has the ball.
In some ways, I feel like perhaps that Meade game, this Warrior team started the season very, very young. We went to Mountain Ridge. We had no idea whether this team was going to win. We thought that they'd probably win some games. We didn't know whether it was going to be 3 or 6. No one thought it was going to be a powerful team. No one thought it was necessarily going to be a team that could make real noise in the playoffs. Got beat by El Saline, surprised everybody. Well, now we find out El Saline's a darn good football team. And I think that Meade game really made these kids realize how good they actually are.
Yeah, Mike, I actually had an opportunity to talk to quite a few players after that Meade game. I was sad to not be at that game, but talking to the players, they had a different light in their eye after that game. They really appreciated the opportunity to play out there, but they walked away from that having a great experience, and I think learned a lot about themselves as football players in that trip.
I've told other people I came away, we lost. I don't think I've ever had a team that I'm kind of emotionally invested in these kids and this program after all these years of doing this. And normally you feel bad. We got beat. I didn't really feel all that bad after that game. I was disappointed that we got the interception at the end, didn't get that last couple of tries in the end zone. Kind of like disappointed that the Royals didn't try to send the base runner home at the end of the ball game last night. But I didn't feel sad because I was just so proud of them and so optimistic about where we were going to go. I'll give this back to you in a minute, Jeremiah. There's the inside handoff. Warriors read it. Very little gain on the play.
Yeah, we're not ignoring the play that's happening on the field, but I think you've heard us say Peyton Heidebrecht to kick off so many times already tonight that you know what's going on when he's doing that. So I bet Mike's glad that Roger's not here standing next to him after that Royals game last night. So he's got a little distance between him and Roger today.
Roger, I got to give Roger credit for the lone San Francisco Giants fan in Marion. I thought he conducted himself like a gentleman, but I know it's very hard for him too. Nice run by the Vikings. Will get the ball across their 45 out to the 46-yard line. Palick with the tackle. And, yeah, Jeremiah, one of the things in a good, tight ball game, you live and die on every play. You describe every play. When you get in some of these, we'll still try to stay with the plays, but you can't quite give it the same focus. And so we're going to talk about this Warrior team throughout the evening. And if we stray occasionally from the play at hand, we'd ask you to forgive us. We're also dealing with extreme adversity. We have to hand a microphone back and forth. It's tough on us up here. Oh, man, the blitz from Palick. Palick ate about 3 people for dinner on the way through the line.
Yeah, that ball went to Clay Phillips, and he had the ball in his hands, and he looked up, and here was Palick coming at him, and nowhere to go. So it's gonna bring up 4th down with the Warriors in a great position to have a good return here from Seth.
Snelling will drop back to receive the kick. Snelling's at his 20. Blocking out here are Peterson and Stone. Warriors put on the rush. Kicks away cleanly. Comes to this near sideline. Takes a bit of a Mission Valley bounce, and it'll die there at the 26. So the Warriors will take over on their own 26-yard line. And we really have not seen kind of the staple of the Warrior offense for many, many years, which is just the long, methodical drive, grind them up, take a lot of time off the clock, because the Warriors have busted big plays and scored quickly.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of opportunities for the Warriors to put those 4-yard gain, 5-yard gain, just 3-yard gains together and march down the field. They're just doing it in big chunks.
Baldwin again. Hand off to Jansen. Lots of room up the middle of the field. Jansen breaks through. The man just kind of scrapping at him from behind. Jansen's loose down that sideline. No flags on the field. He's in the zone with a Warrior touchdown. A Kaysenson Warrior touchdown.
He just was gone. This is just amazing. He just got through the line, and there was no one there that could even wrap him up. So, Mike's asking Gene for the slow-mo replay, but we don't have that available on that play. So Warriors are going to line up here and go for 2. Quite an experience up here in Mission Valley tonight.
Yeah, you can tell we're a little shell-shocked. I don't know about the Vikings. 44-0, 6:54 to go, second quarter of the ball game. Baldwin to pass, that's away, that's high. That was over the head of Peterson. So one of the very few times we put the ball in the air and didn't end up with the completion here tonight. Coach Lang. We're going in at halftime. Let's say the score by halftime will be 56-0. You're coaching the team at the 0. What do you say to your team at halftime?
Boy, I don't know what I would say, Mike. I think I would... Gene's saying turn out the lights. I think I would encourage them to know that they've had a great season to this point. They're going to play another game. They're going to have opportunities to improve from this point on and to take what they've learned tonight, what they've seen tonight, and apply it in the future. Coming out in the second half, just to play a strong second half. Expect that they're going to see some of our second string, the Warriors' second string out there, and to take advantage of some opportunities that they're going to have in those situations.
That's very well done. I think you lie very well. No, I'm teasing. Actually, I think those are all the right things to say. You can't just say give up. And I realize you could go scream and yell, but at this point, that's going to accomplish nothing. So you got to give the kids a purpose and a little something to focus on. Here's the kick from Heidebrecht. Taken at the 20-yard line. Brings it to this side. Drug down the tackle, number 58 and number 33. That'd be Neufeld and Tyler Palick.
Yeah, good kick by Peyton. I think that was his 7th of the half, and able to be wrapped up there by Neufeld and Palick and brought down about the 36. Yeah,
we joked last week about the strain on Heidebrecht's leg. This week, I don't know. They may be icing him at halftime. Hand off to the tailback. He's hit a couple of times in the backfield. Going to surge forward and get a couple. The tackle ultimately made out there by number 63, Cade Harms.
Fun to see Cade come in as the player that he's becoming. He's having a good season, and we don't get to say his name a lot, but he really does play well in the position there and makes some big tackles when he needs to.
Baldwin, who's also a starter on defense, and Harms, both just came out of the ball game. I think the Warriors are already substituting some here. Quarterback with the ball going around that left side. Oh, nice block there. Keeps him alive. Now he's going to reverse field, come back the opposite direction against the grain. Has a couple of blocks. He's got nobody between him and the goal line. The only person that can catch him is Peterson, and Peterson brings him down inside the 5. Nice effort by the quarterback out there. And let me see, Jeremiah, is that number 4? Yes, number 4 for the Vikings, and that is, I said the quarterback. I wasn't sure if it was Taylor or Tanner Allen, and it was, and great play by Allen.
What you're seeing here on the field now is the varsity players are coming back in.
Good point. Well, and I would say that if that had been a nice gain and they were on the 40, that wouldn't be the case. But they're inside the 5, and I think Coach is going to give his defense an opportunity to see if they can stop them 4 straight times. That was first down and goal. And he stopped, pushed back. No gain on that play. I think the actual line of scrimmage initially was a 2. Am I right on that, Jeremiah?
So, yeah.
All right, second and goal from the 2. The Warriors, sometimes it's good to practice just about everything. And you don't want to practice having the goal line at your back if it's the end of a game and you got to hold. But it's good to practice it now where the stakes aren't quite as high, and maybe it'll help you down the road if you're ever in this situation when it counts. Handoff, no, quarterback keeps. He goes to the outside. He reaches for the goal line. He's down. His knees were down when he reached. It'll be third down and goal.
Mike, that's a good point that you bring up, and you don't set up these kind of situations on purpose, but this is a great opportunity for our varsity defense to have their backs against the wall and really push forward.
Haven't had any timeouts so far in this ball game, so should Mission Valley decide they wanted a little bit more time at any point to work on a play, they want to get in the end zone. They know it's one of the few opportunities they're going to have. They've got 2 receivers at the top of the formation. Warriors have men out on them. Quarterback sneak. He's close. We're seeing no signal from the officials. Fourth down. No, now they call a touchdown. I thought I saw them signaling fourth down. So Mission Valley does push it in and get on the board. That'll make our score 44-6 as they line up the kicks to the extra point.
So that's going to, Warriors do get scored on there on that play. I couldn't tell exactly what happened there. It was kind of a call from, I didn't see them call it on the line, so. They're going to kick an extra point. We saw this kicker during warm-ups, and he got a good foot.
Here's the kick. It's up, and it's good. So our score at the 4:09 mark, 44-7. And going back to what Jeremiah was just saying, we were watching on that third down play. The ball carrier pushed forward into the line, had no call from anybody. Everybody was looking down and into the pile, and I saw a hand go up, I thought signaling fourth down, and then the lead official comes to the sideline and suddenly signals touchdown. I don't know, maybe they were yelling out to him he's in or something.
Yeah, it's hard to say what was going on down there. Regardless, 44-7, 4 minutes left in the second quarter. It's going to be Warrior ball, and I think this will be the first time we've seen the Mission Valley team kick off.
And returning kicks is fun. It's even fun being on the kick return team. You get an opportunity to fly downfield, set up some blocks, and although the Warriors obviously would rather be doing the kickoff, Snelling, I know, and Stone, and the rest of the Warrior return team, Wheeler back there, want an opportunity to run one back and erase this blemish that Mission Valley just put on the record. You always want to pitch a shutout if you can, although nobody's going to complain about 44-7. You probably can tell we got the Mission Valley band just right down here to our left. They've been doing a nice job. The ball blows off the tee. There actually is quite a bit of wind. Kind of going crosswise on the field. Here's a kick.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, that's a onside kick or a pooch kick. Taken out there by number 42, Dylan Pippin. Dylan just goes to a knee, and it'll be
42.
Warriors ball on the 38.
And that is Dylan Pippin.
Gene, we just will wait till halftime. Gene thinks he's going to get us set up to be able to have our normal setup with our headphones, and that would be really nice, but we'll try that at halftime, Jeremiah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we can get that working. Here come the Warriors on offense with Baldwin leading them down the field.
Right in front of us, Baldwin with the handoff. That's Wheeler, comes around this direction, and nicely played by the Mission Valley defense. They drag Corbin down. It'll be a short loss on that play. It'll bring up second down. We'll wait for him to spot it here. Second and, a short 11.
Now, Warriors going to come out here and get ready to move the ball the other direction. Been fun to watch Corbin play this year and the seasons he's having as a freshman. He's a tremendous football player.
Jeremiah, all season long we've just marveled at these freshmen and sophomores and how well they've done. Baldwin with the fake. Baldwin keeps right back up the middle of the field, shedding potential tacklers with the face arm. Baldwin cuts back to the middle of the field. Baldwin's going to take it all the way. He's in the zone with a Warrior Case and Son touchdown. Wow!
I couldn't keep track. At one point, I think there were 3 Mission Valley players on the field watching Baldwin run by. We got a flag on the play, late flag. I don't know if that's going to be a celebration call or what that's about. We're going to find out here.
The officials huddling up. You see them right over the word touch. And we'll get the call. Let's see. Is that a sideline violation? What is that? Oh, it is unsportsmanlike conduct. I'm sorry. Called against Marion, so I'm going to assume there must have been a little taunting or celebration, Jeremiah.
All right, so we're back on. Unsportsmanlike play called on the Warriors, and so we're going to see a attempt. Looks like it's from the same spot. Maybe it'll be on the kickoff.
So the Warriors will have to correct that. Can't be getting that because it's sure going to set them up potentially with a great field position on the kickoff. Baldwin dropped the ball, picks it back up. The extra point attempt will be unsuccessful. It's 50-7. This is pure speculation, Jeremiah, but on that play, Baldwin, again, just shooting that arm out with the stiff arm. And one of those people he stiff-armed, he hit him right in the face mask, which you see all the time. He didn't grab it, he didn't pull it, he just hit it. But the fans down here reacted. I'm wondering, pure speculation, nothing to back this up, if that player went in, maybe had words with Baldwin, resulted in somebody saying something they shouldn't have.
Yeah, it's, anytime you're in a competitive environment and one team is dominating another team, there's a lot of emotions on the field, both sides of the ball. It's a little bit different than a tight football game when the teams are this far apart in score. The emotions, you can get some anger, some frustration, some arrogance, and so we just don't know what happened, but hopefully we can avoid that down the rest of the way. We've got a lot of football left to play tonight.
Yeah, and I certainly don't mean to, I know nothing. That was just, it could have been something like that. It could have very well been something totally unrelated to that. I know this, 50-7 with 3 minutes, 14 seconds to go in the second quarter is just unbelievable. I have seen some of the best Warrior teams in Marion football history in the time I've been doing this, going back into the early 90s, and even those teams generally weren't up 50-0 at any point in time, or 50-7 on anyone. Heidebrecht with a kickoff, this time kicking off from his own 25. Squib kick again right at the middle of the field, several bounces, taken on the 40. Returner cuts back to the right. Stone's going to drag him down, but he's going to be near the 35-yard line of the Warriors. And if there's one chink in the armor I've seen so far tonight, Jeremiah, it is that the Vikings have done a good job returning kicks against the Warriors.
Yeah, the Warriors seem to be giving up some big plays on those kickoff returns, and Cody Walker there able to get down the field. One of the differences is he stiff-armed Brad Stone. Brad was not going anywhere.
Stone has had a phenomenal senior year, and I worry sometimes that in our oohing and awing over the underclassmen, we forget about what a great senior class we have out there. The Jansons, the Baldwins, the Stones, the Neufelds, and we can go on and on. The Palicks, long pass, heaved down the middle of the field. That's going to be intercepted. No, it dropped. And that was Brad Stone, and I was very surprised. Brad looked very comfortable. I thought for sure he was pulling that one in.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. It looked like he had it. The ball didn't bounce away, so it must have just been a quick drop, or I don't know what happened.
If you're wondering why you're not seeing some replays, I'm going to tell you, Gene Winkler was not happy that we couldn't get our audio up and working. For the entire first half of this ball game, he has been crawling around on the floor, bumping into things and people. Nice forward run's going to pick up a good gain for the Vikings. Occasionally you heard some muttering that we won't repeat from Winkler as he's trying to get things done, and he thinks he may have us set up for our normal headphone arrangement in the second half. We'll see. But anyway, Gene's been too busy to do instant replays. He did them when the game was in doubt, but he figures at 50-7, he can be allowed to take some time and work on the technical side of the production. As a handoff, the ball's on the ground, just bounced right back to the running back. Running back's number 5, Sam Gleason. He's a sophomore.
Yeah, you saw the ball hit the turf and bounce right back up into his arms. So it's going to bring up, it looks like about 4th down and 1. And I think this time we're going to see Mission Valley go for it.
Mission Valley going from it from the Warrior 26. Quarterback sneak. And were they set? They called the timeout. I think their coach called the timeout. That's a Tampa State Bank timeout called by the Mission Valley Warriors, or Mission Valley Vikings, rather. We're at the 1:54 mark of the ball game, and one more time want to mention, of the half, I should say, want to mention our second quarter sponsors. Marion Pharmacy, Marion Health Mart, one of the original sponsors. Triple R Hauling, they joined us a few years back. We really appreciate their support. Shelter Insurance, and that reminds me, as I left the I'll get through that. Thank you, Jeremiah. I forgot about the hardware. I keep saying that. The lumber yard in Hillsboro, I want to thank them too. But getting back to Shelter Insurance, as I left the office today, and then I got a call, and they said, I was going home to change, get ready to come to the game. They said, hey, Doug Heary was in, and he left you some cookies. I'm going to assume that Doug and Lori made those cookies for the MCTV crew. Those who have been around a while know that there was a time when we'd get 2 or 3 dozen cookies every ball game. We haven't had anyone bring us cookies in years, so we appreciate it from Doug and Lori. I'm assuming that they were intended for the crew, so I brought them here. There's a possibility that maybe Doug just likes me a lot more than I thought he did, and he just brought cookies for me. But Doug, if that's the case, sorry, I shared them with the rest of the guys. All right, here we go. 4th down play. 4th and a yard, short yard for the Vikings after the timeout. And, yes, we've got a procedure penalty. Movement in the line against the Vikings. That'll push them back 5. And, boy, Jeremiah, as a coach, you don't want to call a timeout, come out and get a penalty.
There's nothing that drives coaches more nuts than that. 4th and 1, call timeout, get the play lined up that you want, and then have a false start and move back 5 yards.
So the Warriors will now set up on the 31-yard line as the Vikings will be 4th and 6. And get the play from the sideline. Number 3 will bring the play in. That's Cody Walker. Walker's going to split out as a receiver on the left side. Everyone else in tight. I formation, quarterback under center. Quarterback rolls left, looks left, pops the ball out. It's incomplete. The Warriors will take over on downs.
Yeah, that play wasn't there, and Warriors had good defense. They have the field covered, and just wasn't anywhere really to throw the ball where there'd be an open player. So we're going to have a turnover on downs. Warriors are going to have the ball again and have an opportunity to score one more time before the end of the quarter.
We invite you to stay tuned at the end of this quarter. We'll have Casey Case with the St. Luke Hospital quarterly report. And if we are lucky and we've got all of our audio equipment up and running again, we'll have Casey's regular quarterly reports from the opposing sideline the rest of the second half. All right, Baldwin wants to throw. That's complete. That's Pippin. Pippin's going to be close. Pippin's got the first down. So Dylan Pippin, the junior receiver. I called Dylan a receiver. He's listed as a running back linebacker. I don't know that I've seen him as a receiver, but he did a good job there.
Yeah, giving him opportunity to catch the ball and make us some yards, brings up a first down, and it's going to be Warrior ball at about the 45.
Baldwin brings the Warriors back up to the line of scrimmage. Peterson's on the near side, Stone up top. Hand off to Jansen. Jansen just rumbles through the middle of the heart of the defense. Jansen still on his feet. Jansen to the 35-yard line with a big first down for the Warriors at the 1:17 mark of the second quarter.
Yeah, Jansen got hit at about the 30 or the 42-yard line. He went for another 7 yards, taking players with him, and they were just kind of looking up at him desperately, hoping that he would fall over.
Just trying to will him to fall down. The 1st and 10. The ball just inside the 35-yard line. Oh, ball on the ground. Picked up by Snelling. Very nice move by Snelling. Baldwin couldn't find it. Looked like the Royals catcher Salvador Perez on a change-up he couldn't pick up, and Snelling just picked it up and advanced it for a gain of 4.
Yeah, it was a busted play, but one that worked out in our favor. Good gain, and here come the Warriors again.
40 seconds to go. Baldwin wants to pass, looks, gets pressure, gets away from the potential sack, runs through a couple of tacklers. Baldwin gets down to the 26. The Warriors call timeout. At least timeout's been called. We'll see. It's a Tampa State Bank timeout called by Mission Valley. Okay, the official down here pointed this way, but it only made sense by the Warriors. Didn't make sense that Mission Valley would call it.
Right. It was fun watching Jake on that play. It's a play that you were used to seeing on Sunday by Ben Roethlisberger. Take a hit and then roll out and keep going, and he smacked a couple players hard on that play as he came down.
Baldwin, of course, started the season in the tight end position, and seems to be just gaining confidence and maybe even gaining strength or confidence in his own strength in the quarterback position as we go. And as I said, this is a Tampa State Bank timeout, and in 28 seconds we'll break and have our quarterly report with Casey Case, sponsored by St. Luke Hospital. And Casey just stepped into the booth. Casey, we're hopeful. Gene thinks he's got us up and running, so we may be able to have you mic'd up and broadcasting from the sidelines in the second half. And no, we will not. So Gene hit me to say that no, we will not have Casey Case from the sidelines. All right, the Warriors come back up the line. 28 seconds to go. 2 timeouts in their pocket. Ball on the 27-yard line of the Vikings. Warriors up 50-7. Hand off to Jansen. Jansen fights through a couple of potential tacklers, gets the ball to the 20. Should be a first down. That'll stop the clock.
Viewers at home are probably hoping that Casey be mic'd up too during the second half. They're probably tired of hearing you and me yapping, saying the same things over and over again, Mike.
Why should this week be any different than any other week? Clock is running. Warriors have potentially 2 plays left if they use the timeout. I don't know that they will. Baldwin wants to pass. Gets it away long. That's intended for Wheeler. He pulls it in. He's in the zone. No. They're going to. Yes, it's a touchdown. A Case and Son touchdown. Great play. Baldwin to Wheeler.
Yeah, great play over the shoulder here, right into Corbin's arms, and he's right in the end zone there. Great play to see, and they're going to come out for the 2-point conversion.
At 56-7 with the Warriors lining up for a 2-point conversion. I was just getting ready to say, I think Jeremiah and Casey's pregame predictions are a lot closer than mine, although those are going to go away in pretty short order. Snelling's in the zone with a 2-point conversion, 58-7 score. The Warriors will kick off, and that'll be about all she wrote for the first half of this ball game.
This is quite a demonstration of the Warriors' offense and defense on the first half. Fun to see, and be interested to see what we do after halftime.
Mission Valley team, I don't really know what to say. They're not doing anything wrong. They're not doing anything inappropriate. They just look beat. And I'm sure I saw some signs as we drove in tonight said playoff bound and things like that. They have the exact same record we have. I'm sure they and their fans have every reason to believe this was going to be a rock'em sock'em football game. And it has to take a little starch out of you to look at that scoreboard.
Yeah, I can tell you, as surprised as we are as Warrior fans, just at the successes they're having on the field, I'm sure that the Mission Valley fans are wondering exactly what is going on today.
It's going to be the Warrior kick. Picked up. Yeah, Jeremiah just points out the 9th kick for Heidebrecht. A good kick return again. Ball popped out. No, it didn't. Yes, it did. No, it didn't. Doesn't really matter. It's halftime. And as we break for halftime, let's have a word from these sponsors.
Central National Bank, a family and employee-owned company, has been providing Kansans with sound financial advice since 1884. They are dedicated to providing the quality service that makes our customers and the communities they serve successful. In the 21st century, Central National embraces its strong heritage and strives to be the financial resource of choice for the Marion community. A highlight of 2012 was the introduction of the Friend Referral Program. By referring friends to the bank, customers can earn up to $25 per referral. Prairie Land Partners Incorporated is a John Deere agricultural equipment dealership specializing in large ag, turf, and integrated solution products. Prairie Land has 9 stores in south central Kansas and more than 250 employees. Prairie Land maintained a strong business position and has completed a total store remodel in its Winfield location. Continued growth, we will be adding Honda products to our offerings. Also, an expansion of the Marion location is planned. Marion National Bank offers full-service banking. They offer loans for any worthwhile purpose, including agriculture, commercial, consumer, and all types of real estate, including home loans. For the investor, we offer certificates of deposit, individual retirement accounts, and savings accounts. Personal and business checking accounts are available for your daily needs. A Visa check card can be used with all personal transaction accounts. There's an ATM in our entryway for your after-hour cash needs. St. Luke Hospital, providing state-of-the-art healthcare services to meet all your needs. St. Luke was recently remodeled in 2012 to include a new physical therapy area, a new patient care area, as well as a beautiful new entrance. It also has a current CT scanner to provide your scanning needs. St. Luke Hospital, right here at home, right here for you.
Now we're back, and it's time for the St. Luke Hospital Quarterly Report with Mr. Casey. I am the painfully awkward Rob Lowe. Case.
Well, guys, I've got to give 2 quarterly reports here, so I'll just combine them both into one. Total domination on the part of the Marion Warriors tonight in this first half, especially the first quarter. I went over and stood on the sideline so I could maybe glean some inside information, and what I saw was a team that is playing with more fire and enthusiasm, especially in that first quarter, than I've seen all year, clicking on all cylinders. We've had it all, guys. We've had blocked punts. We've had fumble recoveries. We've had interceptions. We've had great touchdown runs, and we've had touchdown passes. And we've got guys out there tonight that are playing like all-state football players. Jake Baldwin from the quarterback position, just spectacular with his arm. Some of the passes he's thrown over the middle or he's just throwing darts. I mean, they're bullets, and they're right on target. And this touchdown run he had here late in the second half, he was stiff-arming guys, high-stepping guys, running through tackles, and he wasn't going to be denied. Same goes for Adam Jansen. He had a couple of long, hard runs, and after that, the really long touchdown run he had as he came over to the sidelines, Grant gave him a big hug and said, "You got your 1,000," which tells me he must have just gone over 1,000 yards for the season, which is a great milestone for any running back at any level. Interesting, the one run that set up the Mission Valley score, the kid ran all the way across the field one way, all the way across back the other. You could see 4 or 5 of our guys just getting latched onto and getting held, and of course we're not going to cry about that penalty because anyway, I predicted Mission Valley would score 7 points, so I'm sort of happy they got that score. And by the way, my prediction was for the full game, not for the first half. But in talking to some people on our sidelines, and I'm just passing on this information, I don't know if it's correct or not, but one person thought in district play that the 45-point running clock did not occur until the fourth quarter. They weren't sure about that. Okay, Gene says that is right. So we should have a. Okay, well, Mike says we started in the third quarter last week, so I wasn't here last week, so I wasn't here to see it. Another interesting thing, one of our longtime historians over there told me that Mission Valley and Linden played earlier this year. Linden won that game 36-30. So, of course, you can't go saying, well, we beat these guys by that much and they beat those guys by this much. You can't do that, but it looks like providing we hang on and eke out a victory here tonight, it looks like Linden will be our opponent next Friday night in Marion. And I tell you, if our boys come out, play with the enthusiasm they played with in the first half tonight, I'm not sure there's it's going to take a pretty good 2A team to beat us the way we're playing. Now, with that said, I'm interested to see how we come out in the second half, whether we come out flat and kind of play not to lose instead of playing to win, or I really don't think we're going to. I think we're going to come out that same enthusiasm. I'm sure we'll see the JV for most of the second half, but pretty nice night for football. It's not that bad out there in the elements, and when the Warriors are playing like this, it's exciting and fun to watch. Whew, I think I'm worn out, guys. That's my first and second quarterly report.
Here's the second half kickoff, taken by Snelling. Snelling puts on a couple of moves. Still moving. Man, that is nice zig and zagging in and out by Seth Snelling. He just won't go down as he gets the ball across the 45-yard line. We think we have our microphones working now. Gene, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Jeremiah, let's hear you.
Yeah, we think that Gene got us up and running during the first half, so we're not passing a microphone back and forth. You got to see Seth make a zigzag running, spinning play as he returned the ball, got to the 47-yard line, and dodged quite a few players on the way.
With a 58-7 score, we expect to see the Warriors let the starters play here. That's the
Corbin
first.
Wheeler there.
Yeah, Corbin Wheeler is in at quarterback. Handoff's going to gain 3 yards. I was just getting ready to say we expect to see the starters get the first possession of this half, but as I look out there, we've already got, is that the whole second squad?
Not entirely the whole second squad, but quite a bit of them.
So that is a little bit of a break with the normal pattern where the Warriors would let the starters play the first possession of the second half and then go to the JV. It looks like in this case they've started some pretty liberal substitutions early. Corbin Wheeler, who played really well at quarterback with the second unit last week. Corbin, a freshman. Handoff. That's Neufeld with the carry.
Yeah, and it was announced just before the start of the second half that we have a running clock situation here throughout the second half. So it's going to be a pretty quick half as you watch this game at home.
Here's what we think we know, folks. We think that the state rule on these district district games is a running clock starting with the fourth quarter if one team's up by 45 points. But the coaches can agree otherwise, and we think in this case and last week as well, the coaches agreed to go to the running clock the start of the third quarter. There's a nice stop by Mission Valley. It'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, Snelling on the carry gets maybe a yard and meets a wall there in some Viking players. Brings 4th down.
Nathan Sear, one of the Warriors starters, I see still in the game. You can kind of tell because Nathan's jersey's all dirty. Bryce Schultz will split out on the left here. Heidebrecht split out on the right. That's a carry by Neufeld. Neufeld's got the first down, running hard, gets the ball to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, offensive line made a good job making a hole for Tyler to run through, and he followed that hole and picked up the first down.
I think Adam Shalene may still be in the ball game.
Yes, he is.
Jeremiah, help me out. I see Cade Harms, number 63. Throughout the rest of this game, let's any of the younger kids' numbers that we see that we haven't called a lot, let's try to give them a shout-out.
Absolutely.
Look, Wheeler bobbles it, gets it under control. There's the pitch to Snelling. Nice spin move by Snelling. Snelling's going to get the ball just short of the 35.
Yeah, Snelling's going to pick up almost 6 yards on that play by spinning out to the outside and finally getting wrapped up there just before the 35.
So a long 5-yard gain, almost 6 yards for Snelling.
One of the players that we don't give a lot of mention to is the center, Nathan Baldwin, out there, and he's had a really consistent season this year playing in that position.
Hey, thanks for mentioning that because I have to say that's one thing that we pretty consistently don't notice or mention is the center play, and the Warriors have a long tradition of great center play, and it sure continued this year. Oh, nice little hesitation there by Neufeld. He's not going to get a lot. But nevertheless, that could have been a loss, and he read that well and made a little bit out of nothing.
Yeah, he was patient and was able to at least move the ball forward about a yard.
64 coming in the ball game is Dylan Carpenter.
Also 19, Zachary Stuklik, a freshman.
Shalene comes out of the game. Peterson split to the right. Number 19 for the Warriors is Stuklik, split out to the left. Wheeler keeps. Wheeler pitches. Whoa, nice job. The pitch was to Heidebrecht, and the Mission Valley player, number 5 out there, Sam Gleason, came knifing in and cut Heidebrecht down.
Yeah, Peyton got tripped up there in the backfield, and it's going to be 4th and 3 there for the Warriors.
Warriors continuing to shuffle players in and out. Brad Stone will be lining up at a receiver as he comes in. Bryce Schultz on the other side. Heidebrecht back to the tailback position. Run the option this direction. There's the pitch to Heidebrecht. Heidebrecht runs past a couple of people, past a few more. He's loose down the sideline. There's a flag on the play. Heidebrecht's going to be in the zone. We'll have to see whether that one stands.
A great play by Heidebrecht. I think that one's going to be coming back, though.
Do we have that, Gene, that we could look at again? No. Gene is continuing to try to work on the sound, and I got to tell you, if there's ever a time that I appreciate the genius, sometimes evil genius, that is Gene Winkler, it's when we get on the road like this and have things just go all wacky on us. Gene will, it's like MacGyver. He literally, next thing you know, he's got a clothespin, a toothpick, and a dead mouse, and he's made something work.
Yeah, he's pretty quick with the Swiss Army knife. I didn't see that come out, but I'm sure it was in there somewhere. It's a holding call on the Warriors, going to bring the ball back to, looks like the 43-yard line.
So the Warriors will have a 4th and long here. No indication of a punt. The JV is pretty clearly making up about 90% of the Warrior squad on the field right now, and the coach is going to let them take a shot at it. Fourth and 12 from the 43-yard line. Wheeler rolls to the right. He keeps, and he's going to get taken down. There'll be a gain of about 4, but that will give the ball back to the Vikings.
Good play by the JV, the second string out there. They didn't really make any mistakes. They played hard, and they're going to have some opportunities to improve on that possession.
One of the things that happened last week, Jeremiah, that I was impressed with was when they put the second string in, they drove down the field against the Harrington varsity and got a touchdown. And the Warriors, by the end of the game, had basically the third string, mostly freshmen, on the field. And again, this time the JV didn't score, but converted a couple of first downs and took quite a bit of time off the clock.
Yeah, and I think they're going to see some opportunities they're going to have the ball again this game, and they're going to have an opportunity to score. So defense is going to play strong here.
The Warriors are just sprinkling players in and out. That time Jansen was in the game, and Palak was in the game. Just looking out here now, I'm not seeing any of the regular defensive starters for this second down play. It'll be 2nd and 4. There may be 1 or 2 on the line. Other than that, clean white jerseys. Hand off to the tailback. Got some running room. He's going to have the first down. Now, what one would expect here, Jeremiah, would be to see the varsity here of the Vikings execute a drive, probably get a score. What you hope is that the JV gives up ground very, very grudgingly.
Yeah. You want to see our defense stand firm here and make some stops against this varsity Mission Valley team.
Nathan Sear had been in the ballgame on that last play. He's now out, and I'm looking at, I don't think there's a starter left on the field for the Warriors. 1st and 10.
Jarrett McClendon's out there, 73.
That's a nice run. Runs by a couple of Warriors before finally being tackled out there by 42, Dylan Pippin. Pippin's had a good game tonight.
He's had a very good game. We've been able to call his name a few times. He's been all over the field and even made a reception in the first half.
Pippin's in that kind of in-between. He's kind of the defensive play caller out there now. He's not one of the main guys on defense or offense. He's on the field a lot, and now that he's out there with the second unit, he's kind of the man. Handoff again. That time there's some running room. And that's going to result in a Mission Valley touchdown. The Warriors take a couple of shots at him. Jared Johnson had a shot, but that is a score for Mission Valley.
Yeah, Mission Valley's in the end zone on a running play there around the right side. And
Warriors had an injured player right at the goal line. You don't know if we can get a shot.
I think that is Dylan Pippin, actually. I think that's 42.
Warriors are
I think it cramped.
Oh, it does.
Cramped up.
Yeah, Jason Bean is out there with him. That's one thing you like to see when you've got a player down in obvious pain and you see the trainer go down and start stretching those legs. That they wouldn't be doing that if they thought he had an injury. That's a cramp.
One of the things that's neat to see there is you've got a couple Mission Valley guys there right alongside him, making sure he's all right. Looks like a coach and one of the players that's not suited up tonight. So no, competitive nature, but still willing to make sure everyone's doing all right, which is good to see.
Our third quarter sponsors are Heary Real Estate, Marion Kiwanis, and Marion Boosters. Heary Real Estate has been with us for a few years now, and we think partially responsible for the wonderful cookies we had, and they were good cookies. We had to fight Jeremiah to let the old guys have their share. Marion Kiwanis Club, of course, Marion's premier men's service club. Well, it's not men's. I put my foot in my mouth there, didn't I? Yeah, service club. And the Marion Boosters, of course, is the high school organization, parents and others who support all the Marion High School students and all their activities. Extra point attempt for the Mission Valley Vikings. It's good. So we have a 58-14 score with 3:26 to go in the third quarter of our ball game.
Going back to those cookies that Mike was mentioning, he's not wrong. I was relieved to find out there was a second layer of cookies there.
Jeremiah it was funny because he was talking about exercising control. He knew the rest of us wanted 2 cookies and there's only 1 left. And then we had to say, well, young'un, if you lift up the paper, there's a whole bunch of underneath. Yeah, Gene had a pumpkin and a ghost. We wondered what was in the cookies because Gene swore the cookies were talking to him.
Especially the goats.
Yeah, especially the goats. Yeah. Now, here's what scares me is Gene said it's talking to me, so he bit its head off.
That's right.
I don't. It didn't say another word. I just be glad you weren't raised by Gene Winkler. Now the Mission Valley will kick off, and the Warriors again have the JV.
Some of the players that you
Field.
see out there, 50, Colin Williams is out there.
You mentioned Jarrett McClendon, number 73.
Number 10, Austin Neufeld.
Number 30 is Aaron Riggs.
For the Warriors. As is number 9.
80 on the field is Jarrett Johnson.
18, Zachary Shukley.
There's the kick. That's going to go out of bounds, not even going to get a chance to return it now.
10 down there is Austin Neufeld, and 46, Garrett Hoffner.
You know, Zach Stuklik is disappointed because he had the opportunity maybe to return a
Yeah, he was
kickoff.
getting ready for it, wasn't
Yeah.
he? Be the Warrior ball at the 35.
They'll start the clock right now once they get the ball placed. And the clock is running. That is one thing about the when you get in these situations with the mercy rule, and I kind of like them. A couple years ago with our other league, I think it was like a 30-point lead or something, and I really felt like you just didn't give your JV players any chance to play ball. The 45-point rule, I think, is a good one, and it lets you get. That gives you a chance to.
Gene pointed out we had 12 guys on the field. One of them went streaking off.
Yeah, we took them off. Aaron Riggs said, I better get out of here. Bryce Schultz is your quarterback. Bryce keeps. Bryce has got a good gain. Going to get about 9 yards on that play.
Yeah, Bryce had the carry there, and could be a Mission Valley players are trying to figure out who's playing quarterback on any given play at this point right now.
Last week, Wheeler came in and ran the squad for a couple of possessions, and then Schultz came in for the balance of the game. This time we went Wheeler and Schultz. I don't know, maybe they'll alternate here. We'll see. 81 is Riley Hake, split out on this side.
Lots of players moving.
Schultz from the pistol, handoff, right up the middle. Good, strong run. That'll get the first down for the Warriors.
30 is Aaron Riggs on the carry there.
Yep. Sophomore Aaron Riggs. We'll take another
See the
look
play
at that.
here. Just kept the legs moving, which is what you want to see in a running back.
I tell you, one of the things that's really nice here when you this JV, they're not only enthusiastic, but they're pretty crisp out there. They're moving with a purpose. 46 is Garrett Hoffner. Set up on this side. Schultz again with the keeper. Schultz gets 5.
We talked on the way here about some past Warrior teams that were just so dominant, and when they got to the postseason, it was hard to put together a full game for them. And what we've been able to see this season is we've had some tough games and been in some situations where we've had to play the full game, and this has been kind of nice. These last 2 games give our starters a little bit of a break before going into the postseason.
Deep in the season, maybe a few nagging injuries, getting only having to play a couple of strong quarters. Handoff, good strong run. I think that was Riggs again.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's setting up real nice, Jeremiah. Of course, you can't really predict anything. I think last week I predicted that we would win this game, and I thought that just judging quality of opposition that we would do well next week also, but still got to go out and play the ball game. But I like the way things are laying out for the Warriors, at least as far as opportunities go.
Absolutely. We seem in a good position going into the postseason. Here's going to be probably the final play of the third quarter.
Schultz keeps, goes around the right side. That may have been a busted play. If it was certainly smartly executed by Schultz.
It was. He was able to get the ball back around. You're going to see the replay here.
I think, look, he does about a 360.
Definitely a 270 on that play.
270 and reverse it.
And reverse it.
I think that'd get you a high mark in Olympic skating, I'll tell you that.
That's the end of the third quarter.
So we got a 58-7 score at the end of the third quarter.
58-14.
I forgot about that other score, 58-14. And don't think we got Casey back. We're expecting Casey Case to be coming back up, but let's take a break at this point for these words from our sponsors.
And Marion Kiwanis Club, dedicated to providing service to children and local communities. Since 1923, Marion Kiwanis have worked for our community. Come join us. You can help. MCTV reminds you to support our sponsors. They make these broadcasts possible. Marion Pharmacy became a franchised Health Mart pharmacy in 1984. As a full-line pharmacy, we accept most all major insurance plans, including Medicare D plans for seniors. We have been offering flu shots for the past couple of years and will continue to do so in the future. They offer a full line of durable medical equipment for both rental and purchase. They also have a Kodak picture printing machine, a full line of Hallmark cards, giftware, and toys for tots. And Marion High School boosters, financially, emotionally, and in all ways possible, the MHS boosters support the students of Marion High in all of their activities. Contact the high school to join them and boost the Warriors. MCTV reminds you to support our sponsors. They make these broadcasts possible. Carlson's is a full-service grocery store, proudly serving the community for more than 20 years. They feature fresh meat and produce, an outstanding deli featuring daily specials and freshly smoked meats, and a bakery. They also offer propane exchange, DVD rental, and utility payments through Western Union. They can even take care of your catering needs. They have recently remodeled their interior, including new frozen section and bakery managers during the past year.
When Casey does get up, we will add another microphone, let Casey join in. And until then, though, let's have our St. Luke Hospital quarterly report. Jeremiah, I know you've got a lot of stuff you've been saving up. Why don't you jump right in there with that quarterly report?
Well, Mike, it's been a lot of fun during the third quarter to see the JV out there. The first time they had the ball, they weren't able to move it very well, but this time we're seeing them with a possession where they've picked up at least 2 first downs, and just a good opportunity for them to be out on the field late in the year and in the season and put some of their talent to use. We're going to enter into the fourth quarter here, still with the running clock. Warriors with a 44-point lead, looking to march down the field and add to that with their JV players.
I do not know whether we'll be able to get in the end zone with this JV group, but I tell you what, I like what I'm seeing from them. A lot of kids getting not only experience, but getting some refinement at their positions. And if they could put it in the end zone, I think that would be a great way to cap off the fourth quarter of this ball game.
Absolutely.
Oop, Schultz bobbles it, wants to pass, dodges a couple of people. Fights, gets his way back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, there just wasn't much going on there for Bryce to do, and so he did the smart thing, just hold on to the ball and allow them to reset here and try again.
We ended up gaining a couple of feet on that.
Yeah, so you're right.
It'll be 2nd and long, more or less 2nd and 10. Number 8 coming out of the ball game is Devin Ringy. Number 10 on the near side here, Austin Neufeld, little brother of Tyler. Schultz hands off to Heidebrecht. Heidebrecht's got a big hole. Heidebrecht runs over a couple of people, gets the first down, and gets down to the 22-yard line.
Yeah, Heidebrecht gets down there about the 22, and I think there was took about 5 or 6 Vikings to pull him down. Here's the slow-mo.
Slow-mo, I think last week Roger referred to Heidebrecht as a cannonball, and I tell you, when he comes shooting out, he's gonna blow through some people.
Yeah, he hit some people hard. A couple Vikings holding on to body parts as they were trying to get up off the field.
Warriors from the 22, 1st and 10. Schultz with the handoff to Heidebrecht again. Short gain for Heidebrecht.
Yeah, not as much there on that play. Heidebrecht picks up a couple yards, and we're going to bring up 2nd down.
We are joined by the one, the only, Alex Case.
Am I on? Can you guys hear me? I did.
Well, Alex, nice drop in, Casey. Those broadcasting school lessons have really worked out well for you. Schultz from as the Warriors back up the line. 2nd down and 7. And no, Schultz breaks around the right side. Oh, nice little ball fake. Schultz is going to be inside the 10-yard line. Should have the 1st down. And now we have Casey Case.
That's what Gene says. He says I'm on anyway. Guys, I've been really impressed with the athleticism of Bryce Schultz. And Jeremiah, clarify this. Bryce is a freshman, correct?
Bryce is a sophomore.
Is a sophomore. Okay. He's a sophomore. But anyway, that gives us 3 great athletes at quarterback in the freshman and sophomore class with Bryce and Corbin Wheeler, and then, of course, Jack Schneider. So how many teams can say they've got 3 good quarterbacks coming up?
Definitely not very many in the 2A level. It's a great blessing to have for our guys.
From the 9-yard line, that's a handoff to Neufeld. No, that's Riggs. Riggs is in the zone with a Case and Son touchdown.
And Riggs has been running well, too. Now, he's a sophomore, correct?
I believe that is correct. Yes.
All right, so we've been a lot of people have been talking about these 2 classes, the freshman and sophomore class, and they look to have a lot of good momentum going for them. And, of course, a lot of things can happen between your freshman, sophomore, and senior year, but if they stay in the weight room and keep working and do what the coaches tell them, they're going to be an outstanding group.
2-point conversion, 64-14 is our score. Hand off to Heidebrecht. Heidebrecht lunging, trying to get the ball across the line. Oh, yes, he's in. And I'm trying to see out there. For a moment, I thought the ball actually ended up in the hands of another Warrior, but I think that was Heidebrecht.
I believe that was Heidebrecht.
The Pocket Battleship had an outstanding run down here. They got called back, another sophomore, and he's going to be he's a Pocket Battleship. He's going to be a tank.
Well, wait a minute. Last week, Roger said he was a cannonball. So is he a cannonball, is he a tank, or is he a Pocket Battleship?
I think I tabbed in the Pocket Battleship before the tank came about, so I'm sticking with that.
Well, you're the one that said the tank.
I mean, before the cannonball came up. So, but no, if I get a pick between Pocket Battleship and tank, I'm going with Pocket Battleship.
Fair enough. One of the fun things about that, I don't know if you guys noticed, but after they scored that 2-point conversion, those players came running off the field just as excited as the varsity players did the first time they scored. Just a lot of excitement on the Warriors' part. This isn't just becoming routine for them to score here. They're having a lot of fun out there.
Yeah, it's been a great game to play if you're a player.
If you're a Warrior player.
Yeah, if you're a Warrior player. It's been a great game to watch if you are the parent of one of the JV players.
Yeah.
From the standpoint of just a casual observer, it's been a little grim. Well, simply because it's a blowout.
Yeah.
All right, 66-14. Kicking off for the Warriors will be number 10, Austin Neufeld.
Austin's another freshman, correct?
Yep.
Yes, Austin's a freshman.
Freshman class.
Kick, stay in bounds, and it does.
It does.
Great kick. My goodness.
Block in the back right
Yeah,
there.
we've got a penalty call. And the ball pops out. I think the Warriors have the ball. Are they going to call him down? No, it's a Warrior ball.
Warrior ball. We will decline that penalty.
I think Bryce Schultz reached in there and popped that ball out, and the Warriors were able to fall on it.
What an amazing kick. That thing was headed out of bounds. It hit and started spinning and bounced right along the out-of-bounds line and curled back in.
Yeah, you could watch it go right in front of the official, and he almost was turning to watch it go out of bounds and then just curved back in to the field of play.
Garrett Hoffner recovered that fumble for the Warriors.
And is he a freshman as well?
He is.
I know that freshman class. I remember when they were little kids and they were in the tackle football league, and the parental involvement and support with that class seems to be fantastic. I think I went out one night and they had about 8 coaches out there working with that group, and surprisingly, they all seem to be getting along.
Yep.
Warriors will set up first down on the 17-yard line of the Vikings. 7:52 and counting down, the left to go in this ball game. 66-14 Warrior lead. Schultz remains in at quarterback. Very calmly, making sure everyone's set. Hand off to Riggs. Riggs just powers up the middle. Just short of the goal line.
He running like his older brother used to. He's going to be a good one.
Yeah, he's had some great players to watch go before him, and he's just following in their footsteps.
I wonder if we ever hung 70 on anybody at Marion High School.
Not that I remember.
I mean, in recent history.
Yeah, not
Of course,
that I
there's the
remember.
famous game of 19. I can't remember now. 1919 or 1921 when we beat Hillsborough 218 to nothing. But
You were young.
Those were
You
the
were
good
young
old
with that.
days.
You were just a kid, weren't you? By the way, on that last carry by Riggs was a great run, but boy, there was a nice hole up there too. The young offensive lineman doing a good job tonight. First and goal on the 1 yard line. Where's shift?
Colin Williams in there, number 50.
Williams played well last week.
54, Jeremy Het.
He's in the zone. Get a number on that. I think it was Riggs again.
I believe.
Yes, it was
Yep.
Aaron Riggs with a Case and Son touchdown.
makes the score 72-14.
A little bit more than any of us predicted there, Casey.
I almost predicted 72-14.
I'll tell you, I think my vision, I just had it wrong, because if you take what I predicted and double it, it's close to that. Two-point conversion, handoff to Riggs again. This time they're going to pull him down. Well, he won't go down, but they do keep him out of the end zone.
2-point conversion is no good.
So Mission Valley will get receive the kickoff, get another shot against the Warrior JV defense.
I know we talked about how you can't say, well, we beat them and they beat them and they beat them. But if you're Linden and you beat this team 36-30 and you know you're coming to Marion and you see the score we put up tonight, that's got to put a little bit of doubt in their mind.
Yeah, a little bit of doubt.
Yeah, you'll be thinking that's going to be a long drive for a football
Casey,
game.
I mean, I totally agree with what you just said, that you say, well, we beat them by 10 and they beat this other team beat them by 1, so we're 9 points better, whatever. That doesn't work usually. But when you start looking at a group of teams playing over here and another group of teams playing over there, and you see comparative scores and they almost all favor one group over the other, you got to kind of figure one's playing a higher level of competition, and I think that's where we are in this deal.
Well, you look back at the Hutch Trinity game. As far as I know, they have not lost yet this year. I think they're still
They're
undefeated.
7 or 8-0 now, I think.
8-0, yeah, and that's the best team in my mind that we've played this year. But didn't you take that Meade game, which was one of the most entertaining games I've seen? Well, you talked about the collegiate game in 1995 being one of the best high school games you'd ever seen, and that Meade game was right up there with it.
I agree. I totally agree.
But that has to make us a better team playing games like that.
Ball taken on the 15-yard line. Ball carrier looking for somewhere to go. Now he's going to get outside around the right end. A couple of Warriors with a shot at him. I'm going to tell you right now, number 19 for the Warriors, Zach Stuklik, just did a very bright thing. He looked at the angle. He saw that he had Austin Neufeld cutting over with a possible shot, and Stuklik took the angle so that if his buddy didn't get him, he was going to be there.
Yep, a very smart play, and he was ready for him. Austin made a good play on him to slow him down, and Stuklik was there to drive him out of bounds.
The rumor is those Stuklik kids are just a little bit smart. They got a little bit of smarts in them.
Well, he showed it. He not only showed little smarts, he showed some savvy on that one. From the 39, great starting position for the Vikings.
Ball's down.
Ball's on the ground.
Looks like they got it back.
They'll bring up second down. Well, Casey, Jeremiah and I were saying that we think we've triumphed over adversity tonight. Not our team, the broadcast team. Gene Winkler has to go home and sleep like he's not slept for weeks because he was working like crazy the whole first half.
Not until after he drives us home.
Yeah, you got to drive us home first. Second down. Handoff, hit, going to gain just a yard or so.
Well, this will be one of those fun games for our viewers to watch. I mean, we've got a great crowd over there.
Yeah.
But Mission Valley's not just a hop and a skip away. It's 80, 90 miles away. And especially these young kids who have played the entire second half, if their parents or grandparents or aunts and uncles didn't get a chance to come up here, they can watch it on Sunday night.
Turn down the sound and watch the game. 3rd and 9, 4:30 to go in the game. Handoff, and boy, the line is playing great for the Warriors.
They really are. I think that was 73
McClendon
there. Jarrett McClendon again there on the tackle, and really playing well in the second half.
It's one of the things, Casey. I'm sorry, go ahead, man.
I was just saying I've been talking about anyway, these great performances from Jake Baldwin and Adam Jansen. But defensively, Seth Snelling has been in on a bunch of tackles. He's had a great game tonight. And Kyle Palak, you don't really need to talk about him because he's in on about a dozen tackles every week, and he comes off the field, he just wringing with sweat, just playing as hard as he can.
4th and 13. Here's the punt. Ball away, fair catch called, covered by the Warriors. Casey, one of the things that people have asked when they've asked me about the team, and I've talked about, we got this young quarterback, that young quarterback, got a young receiver, and they say, how about linemen? And I'm just talking about McClendon, and then Jeremiah mentioned earlier, Nathan Baldwin, just a sophomore, playing all the time, playing well. Not only do we have some good skill position people coming up, we got some kids that, given a year or two, they're already good size, but they'll only get bigger and stronger. All right. 3 minutes, 10 seconds to go. From their own 25, the Warrior JV, once again, on offense. Handoff, and that's going to get stuffed.
You mentioned lineman, and you mentioned Nathan Sears, another one of the seniors who's in the trenches on the offensive defensive line. He's played outstanding again tonight. Tyler Neufeld got a little work at running back and then made a big fumble recovery in the end zone in the first quarter. All our seniors have showed up and played well tonight.
They really have. Always feel sorry for Braden Fahey, who's had just a great kid and wanted to play football and had injuries 2 years in a row. 2nd and 11. Schultz keeps. Got some running room. Runs through a couple tackles. Nice play by Schultz. Appears to have a first down. Very close.
One of the things that's an option for a player like Braden is to kind of get down and bummed, but he's really stepped into a position to help his teammates out and encourage them and push them along this season.
They actually called him down just short. It'll have 3rd and a short yard from the 34-yard line. Handoff. That's Riggs. He's got the first down as he gets near the 40.
We're mentioning these seniors. I'm looking over there at the helmets, trying to make sure we don't leave any out. Brad Stone's had another big game tonight. He's made made a couple of big catches over the middle and had an interception, I believe. And who have we left out, Jeremiah? I can't read that. So you're gonna have
real quick, while you're looking, let me mention our 4th quarter sponsors: Carlson's Grocery, Hannaford Abstract, Marion County Ace Hardware, and I'll come back to their Warrior sponsors in just a moment. Another handoff. It's going to pick up 5 yards. Who's our ball carrier there, Jeremiah?
Number 80.
80 is Jarrett Johnson, sophomore.
Warrior sponsors are Marion Auto Supply, Edward Jones Investments, Gambino's Pizza, who fed us before we played the game tonight, and man, that was good, and HRK Variety. 1 or 2 plays left in this ball game. 72-14 Warrior lead. 2nd and 6. Schultz keeps. Schultz pitches. Oh, nice defensive play. Ball carrier after the pitch was Austin Neufeld. Austin was nailed pretty much as soon as he handled the pitch.
About 20 seconds left in the half, or in the game.
I think that's going to be
I think that's going to be it, yep.
Well, let's move right into our Marion Dye and Fixture post-game show. starring Mr. Casey Case. Take it away, Case.
Oh, I wasn't planning for that. I wasn't ready. I'll just reiterate what I've said all game. I was over on the sidelines, and I love the enthusiasm of the Marion Warriors and their. It just looks like they came to play tonight. I'm trying to think. One thing I meant to mention that I didn't. No injuries. In fact, I don't even remember seeing anybody with anything that even resembled an injury. I don't remember seeing anybody hobbling off the field, anybody limping on the sidelines. That's always a great game when you can come off the field and have all your players intact. Boys played with a lot of emotion, a lot of heart, a lot of spirit tonight, and just a great all-around game, worth the drive.
Final comments from you, Jeremiah.
I think this was a great opportunity for the boys to come up here, get a road win of significance, and do it in a dominating fashion. Get ready now for postseason play at home for the first game, and I'm just excited for what this team's going to do in the next few weeks.
Well,
should be fun.
Get out to Warrior Stadium next Friday night for the first round of the playoffs. The Marion Warriors, we think, will likely be hosting Linden. And with that, this is Mike Powers for Jay Smith, our ace #1 cameraman, Gene Winkler, our producer-director, Casey Case, and Jeremiah Lang. Again, Mike Powers saying good night, Mr. and Mrs. Warrior fan. Good night, Red. Good night, Kevin. Good night, Gabby Gabbard, wherever you are.